Hey guys, my name's Perfetto. Do you have a frag scene where the in-game sound is just a little too messy and cluttered? Sort of like this? Do you wish it was a little cleaner? Sort of like this? Well, I'm here to help. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to download the program that allows you to access all of the raw sound files that CSGO uses. And that's called GCFScape. Okay, it's made by a developer called Nem. So let's go to their website, all right? It is nemstools.github.io/index.html, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to GCFScape. We're going to go over to download. What we want to do is we want to just click on installer. And it's going to prompt us to download it, which we want to. We're going to go through, click accept. And now these should all be checked. You just want to make sure that they all are if they're not. Okay, and then next, and then install. All right. Okay, after it installs, let's just run it, all right? So you have it open. Now what we want to do is we want to go to File, Open, all right? And now we're going to navigate to our CSGO file, which is in our Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO, subfile, okay? We're going to scroll all the way down. You're going to start seeing these VPK files, these packs, okay? We want to skip all of these. We want to go all the way down until we get to pack01_directory.vpk or dir. All right, let's double click on it. All right, great. We are now in the main folder that houses all of these really important files for CSGO. We want to scroll down to sound, and then in sound, we want to go down to weapons. And this is where all the sounds from the weapons opens up and are available at your disposal, okay? So we're looking for Glock for this particular scene, okay? What I suggest that you do is I suggest that you go through all of these and extract them. You just want to have a sound effects folder readily available, so you don't have to keep doing this every time you need a sound. So yeah, I would, like I said, extract all of these folders and put them in a master sound effects file that you have on your hard drive. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go down to Glock 18. And now what we actually want, so there are there's going to be two different files sometimes in these folders. There's going to be the legacy sound that CSGO used to use, and then there's going to be the new sound that has like a deeper bass and I think higher highs. Once Counter-Strike started getting aired on TV, Valve had to actually remix their audio because the sounds just weren't created properly for airing on TV. So what we actually look for is we look for the gun name and then 01. That's going to be the sound we want. And now there's two different files here. There's that one. And there's that one. One's lower, one has a little higher pitch. You can use both in conjunction with each other to give the scene more dynamic sound. So if you just use one audio file, it sometimes sounds weird to the human ear because there's no variance. There's no dynamic sound to it. So if you mix up 01 and 02, which sometimes guns have, you can get a more dynamic sound. Okay? So yeah, we're just going to drag it off from here onto our desktop, and again, it's as easy as that. You don't have to do really anything special. You can right click and click extract and then extract it to a folder, but it's really as simple as just dragging and dropping. It's really not that hard. Okay, so you can find anything in here, right? Not just weapons. We can find stuff like the helmet hit, right? Or a player taking damage. Or even a death sound. Okay? There's really no end to what sound effects you can find in this folder. So make sure you go through it and take a look at everything and pick out all the stuff that you need to really increase the audio mixing of your frag movie, okay? Let me go into Vegas and show you how you can utilize these sounds now to sync them up with your video and make a cleaner frag sequence with cleaner sound. Okay, so I'm in Vegas, right? And here is the sound file of the original clip, right? Without the isolated, cleaner sound effects. Do you see this waveform here? You see how just very chunky and cluttered it is? Like, you don't really get a lot of like clean sound effects, right? If you get a clean sound effect, it would look like this. Here, we'll go over here. Do you see how the waveform is very small and linear, and then right here is where a sound effect starts, where you hear like that hard hit, that hard pop. That's a cleaner sound effect, but it's just messy. Okay, so let's just delete that. Let's just get it out of here. All right, we've got our cleaner sound effects here, right? Our Glock 1 and our Glock 2. So we're going to utilize these, right, to make this just a cleaner sounding scene. All right, so as you can see, Valve is not very good at mixing their audio. You can see that it just clips like crazy, right? So what clipping means is the waveform goes outside of this area that it's shown in, right? It's going above this line here and below this edge here. So what we want to do is we just want to lower that a little bit. Do you see how now, because it cuts off, you're missing the very peaks of the waveform? But what this does is it allows us to avoid clipping in the master mix. All right, so then what I like to do before we get started, because we're gonna duplicate these, so it'd be easier if we do this to the original and then duplicate that so all of the effects follow with it. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to EQ it a little bit, right? Give it a little bass boost. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to FX on the audio file. We're gonna go to graphic EQ. Click OK. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. This line shows all the frequencies, right? 20, 40, 80, 160, 320. Your mids start right about here, 640 to 1.3 thousand in the frequency range, okay? So what we're going to do is I like to boost the bass and raise the highs a little bit, right? So we're going to click here at 320, okay? We're going to come over to the beginning, and we're going to raise this to about +6. And then we're going to come over here to, let's say 1.3 thousand. And then we're going to raise this to +3. I like deeper, I like the lows to be a little higher than the highs. Yeah, so the highs are punchier, like they hit you a little harder. And then the lows just give it that undertone, that deepy, meaty sound that is needed to really make you feel the sound in the frag movie. Okay, so cool. Let's right click, let's copy, let's come over here, and let's paste event attributes. Okay, and great, it just pasted what we did. Cool. So let's start syncing. Okay, so be careful here. This is a really important part that you should know. Do you see how a lot of sound effects, there's actually like some dead space between the beginning and the end? There's like this little sound, but that sound doesn't really add much to the overall sound of the gunshot. So what I like to do is I like to cut that off, right, until we're right at the edge of where the gun really starts to shoot or really starts to fire. Okay, and so what we do is we'll go through, we'll scrub through, and we'll put these sound effects at the beginning of all of our muzzle flashes. Okay, so for this first shot, what we're going to do is we're going to scrub over until you see the recoil, right? Because so the shot happens in between this frame and this frame. But we don't get any muzzle flash because the muzzle flash happens in between frames. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the sound effect right where that recoil starts, okay? All right, and then we're going to scrub over to the next one, right? So it looks like the shot happens there, but the recoil doesn't start till there. So what we're going to do is let's drag this down, create another track. We're going to use Glock 02 just to give it some differentiation. Oh yeah, and like I said, let's cut off that beginning part until we're right at the beginning of the sound. And let's put that right there. So you want to line it up, put it right at the beginning, okay? All right, so then let's take Glock. Actually, for differentiation purposes, let's reuse Glock 02. Right? We're going to scrub over until we see that shell casing fly off. And then we're just going to copy and paste. And we're just going to keep doing this. We're going to keep going back and forth between Glock 01 and Glock 02, just recreating this firing sound. Okay, we just got done putting everything on the track. Let's listen to it now. Wow, that sounds so much cleaner compared to what it used to sound like. So now let's listen to what it used to sound like. Whew, that sounded terrible. And it probably also would have ruined my sync if I would have kept that in my frag movie. Alright folks, that was awesome. Really glad I could show you that. I feel like audio is really important, but it's something that people don't really pay too close attention to a lot of the time. So I'm glad I could show you different ways that you can make your frag movie cleaner and make your audio punch more. If you liked this tutorial, please like, please comment, and please subscribe for the holy algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one.